Well, let's get across the market open. David Lane joining from Ord Minnett. David, welcome to Wednesday. Good to have you on the show again. Let's begin stateside, of course, post that 3-day weekend. Investors were clearly keen to get going. We saw those major indices rallying.
Yes, Andrew, we certainly did. It was the day started off to be relatively muted, but then through the day, a couple of things happened. One was the consumer confidence indicators that came out and showed a very strong jump in consumer confidence in America. It was up by more than has been the case for over 4 years. But then, having said that, they were coming off a 5-year low. So certainly positive, still down on the year about 3.3% across the year, but certainly positive signs from consumer confidence. The other thing that happened during the day, as quite often happens, is Donald Trump put out a social media post saying that he was encouraged by some of the negotiations with the EU as far as tariffs are concerned, and that the increased tariffs that he proposed last week will be delayed until July. So the market took a lot of confidence in that. So we saw a big rally across the board. The S&P was up over 2%, and the Nasdaq was up nearly 2.5%. So a lot of the tech stocks rallied very strongly overnight.
I guess there's two ways of looking at this. As you pointed out, there's the taco trade, which is Trump always chickens out. But the other argument is that, well, this is all part of his strategy, that he throws a huge number at, in this case, the EU, and then forces them to the table.
Yes, well, many of the commentators are talking about it being the art of the deal. Interesting way to negotiate, but it seems to be his way. And the market, at the moment is certainly reacting positively to it. And as you said, there is a bit of a view of the taco trade that, they're betting on the fact that the economic fallout from tariffs won't be anywhere near as bad as what the initial headlines will have us believe.
Now, of course, David, tomorrow we get a key result in NVIDIA, and as we well know, it's set the bar very high. It's always managed to deliver. What are the expectations?
Yes, it has, and certainly last night the stock rallied quite well, so rallied into that result. Market expectations are that they should have a pretty solid result. Obviously, there have been further announcements about the Saudi Arabia looking at buying a lot of NVIDIA chips, so that will be factored into the result as well. The market anticipating a very good result from NVIDIA. So we saw NVIDIA stock rally, and the other stocks, the other tech stocks or the Mag 7 stocks rallied pretty well. Even Apple, who were sold off fairly significantly last week, had a reasonable night last night. So all of the Mag 7 stocks were up by over 2% last night.
Locally, we are expecting a positive start. We're also getting some results to us this morning as well.
Yes, we have. We've got early results from Goodman on their quarterly sales and outlook. Positively, they've reaffirmed their guidance and said that they're locking in a lot of their growth. Data centers is obviously a key component of that as well. So on initial reading of those headlines, it looks like a reasonably good result, and the market should take that positively. And also Webjet or Web Travel, as it's now called, came out with their update this morning as well. And on the face of it, that also looks reasonably positive. Also, importantly, they've indicated that travel to the US at this point in time hasn't been a significant decline. So although some of the anecdotal discussion has been that travel within the US has been lower, that hasn't impacted Web travel at this point in time. And the other thing that Web actually pointed to was their margins are holding quite well. So I think given some of the results that we've seen over the last 6 months or so from Web, I think that will be seen as a bit of a positive result today as well.
A couple of the subsectors to look at which have been volatile, certainly uranium, David, also gold.
Yes, both have been very, very volatile. Uranium, has had a couple of positive days. A lot of that has been recovery from a lot of short selling. So in April, the uranium stocks were the most shorted on the market. We are seeing a bit of a recovery in those. Some positive discussion out of the US and late last week, Donald Trump talking about building out nuclear plants and the need for further nuclear energy. So that has been a positive. And again, feeding into that data center theme that we've seen Amazon and Microsoft and a lot of those big players looking at investing in nuclear plants as well. So we actually like some of those uranium stocks. We've got buys on Boss Energy, Paladin, and a little more speculative one, Lotus Resources. So yeah, we think that there is further to run in that trade. And as you mentioned, gold has been quite positive as well. Again, gold is an inflation hedge as well as an uncertainty hedge. There's a lot of uncertainty around at the moment, so we're still seeing a lot of money heading towards gold, and we think that there's still some value in a number of the Australian gold mining stocks. Ramelius Resources is probably our pick there, and Newmont on the large global basis we think is also representing value as well.
And I guess we can't complete this conversation without talking about CBA, David. It's at or near another record.
Yeah, it certainly is. CBA, very expensive, but they still keep going higher. And I think, we've actually, our head of asset allocation has just put out a report on valuations in the market. And although the Australian market is overvalued and CBA in particular is overvalued, a lot of the reason for that is the pure weight of money and money going into superannuation. We've all got 11.5% of our money going into super. A significant portion of that goes into buying the index, and CBA is again a significant portion of that index, so it gets a lot of the money. So although on a valuation point of view they're expensive, they keep going higher, and I imagine with the positivity in the market today they'll probably go higher again.